All right. So what you got for me?
All right, so question number one, why did you want to become a photographer, and what encouraged you to do this?
So I used to be really into film, wanting to direct movies and write scripts and all this other stuff. And I started out doing that. And in that process, I would, with my video cameras, I would take still shots, still frames. And I was out videotaping a butterfly atrium, and I took some still shots, and I thought they would be cool photos to have. And I realized how cool those photos were and how great they were, and it made me really appreciate still photography. And I realized that my talent in still photography was better than that of video.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I mean, that was exactly how I got into it. I took some still frames on a video camera, and I was like, holy cow, I'm actually better at this than I am at filming. And here I am.
Okay, so question number two, what type of photographer are you, and explain what you do?
What type of photographer am I?
Yeah.
Okay, I do a little bit of everything, but mostly concert photography. So I go to concerts. I go to concerts, and I get all over the venue, backstage, in front of beyond the barrier of the crowd, in the crowd, and I capture the fans and the moments with the artist moments with the fans in the middle of their show.
Nice. That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Is this your cell phone?
Yeah.
I'll send you some photos of some shows I've done as soon as we get off the phone, so you can see.
Okay. Number three, what are some techniques you use to get a good picture? And explain why. Sorry.
Okay. Some techniques I use. All right. So to get a really good photo, you want, let's see, techniques. All right, so most photos I take to get a really good photo, one technique I use is I'll take a photo on exhale. So when I'm breathing, I make sure that I'll take a breath, and then on the breath out, at the end of that breath is when I'll take my photo. Now, sometimes you take a lot of quick photos and you have a rapid photo shoot, and I wouldn't do it then, but to get a really good photo, I'll take, especially if I'm trying to capture a certain motion, I always focus on the eyes. If the eyes aren't in focus, then 90% of the time, your photos aren't going to turn out how you want them, and you're not going to get the detail that you want, because usually the focus on anything is best focused on the eyes. And then lighting. I try to use lighting as a technique and utilize it how best I can. I try to bounce it. I try to capture the best lighting possible. I don't know if that's not really a technique, but that's what I do.
Yeah, it's something that you use to get a better photo.
There's techniques to capture lighting. I'll use a really slow shutter speed and a really high f-stop to get really good lighting, because you capture, like with the f-stop, you capture like the star, the star of the light and stuff like that, and then with the slow shutter speed, it allows more light to come in.
Yeah.
I'll send you some pictures and show you. I'm sure you know how it works, but okay. I'll show you some stuff that I do.
This question's a little bit confusing. How much money do you usually get per job opportunity? Do you know how much you get monthly or yearly?
Yearly or so yearly, because I don't charge what everybody else charges. I charge really low amount. Like, I just shot a wedding for $500 because I don't feel like I need to charge $3,000 for a wedding.
Yeah.
So in a year, I don't know.
It doesn't have to be exact,
No, it's about $70,000. Probably more, 10,000.
Nice. That's basically what I researched when I was looking all this up. And it was, yeah. And number 5 is, what are some settings you enjoy using, and explain a little bit of each one that you use?
Say that one more time with some settings.
What are some settings you enjoy using, and explain each one?
Like settings on the camera or?
On the camera.
Okay. Ooh, let me go get my camera. And I'll tell you here in a second. All right. So, I have to say I use manual. I always use manual. I won't not use manual. Because with manual, and I have control over everything. Sometimes some people will recommend not using manual depending on what you're shooting, but I've worked at it for long enough to be able to do everything on the fly, so I can adjust my aperture and my shutter speed and my ISO, my focus and depth of field and everything like that, all while all keeping it in manual. I can do the math in my head and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So manual would be my favorite. Next, I would have to say is my metering. I use the in-camera metering. Hold on, I'll tell you which one I use. I don't know which one I use. No, menu. No. Yeah, there we go. There we are. Sorry, give me a second. I'm going to tell you which settings I use. Like, I know what they are when I see them, but off the top of my head, I don't.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, I use my, so I have a selectable autofocus point, and I use the 61-point autofocus point as far as that goes, because what it allows it, it'll select 61 multiple areas at once, and gives me certain regions that will keep in focus at all times. So when everybody's moving, like especially if someone's on stage and they're performing and they're jumping around, I can keep up with, and their face is always moving. I can keep their eye in focus, their face, that region in focus at all times.
Yeah.
And then my other favorite setting, my last one, is I use spot metering. And what that allows is that gives me control to like how I want to center the focus.
Yeah.
So while I use 61 focal points, I use spot metering because it's the specific one that I choose will allow the focus on that area a little, if something tries to override it, that kind of that overrides everything else.
Okay.
So those are my 3 favorites.
Okay. And that's basically it. Thank you so much for letting me interview you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm not like the most successful photographer, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I'll send you some of my show photos here in just a moment. All right.
All right.